Thank you for taking the time. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. This land has been home to Indigenous people since time immemorial, and we recognize their enduring presence, culture, and stewardship of these lands. We commit ourselves to reconciliation and justice, not just in words, but in action. And I want to take a moment to recognize some of the incredible people in this room. Our dedicated volunteer, our team, thank you so much. Our candidates who are ready to fight for you. Yes. And most importantly, you, the people who make this country great. Thank you. My parents chose Canada because they believed in the promise of a country where if you worked hard, you can build a good life, where we look out for one another and no one gets left behind. That's who we are. That's what makes us Canadian. The things that we are most proud of as Canadians didn't just happen. They were not gifts from the powerful. New Democrats fought for them because you believe that if you get sick, you get care. So we fought for and won universal health care. Because no one should go bankrupt trying to pay a hospital bill. We believe that if you've worked hard all your life, you should be able to retire with dignity. So we fought for and won pensions. We believe that you have the right to join a union, so you can demand fairness and stand up to the boss. So we fought for those rights and we won. We believe that whoever you are, whether you were born here or you came here, whatever the color of your skin, whoever you love, or what pronouns you use, however you worship or what you believe, you belong, you are valued, and you have every right to everything this country has to offer. These are NDP values. These are Canadian values. That's the Canada I love, and that's the Canada worth fighting for. And when New Democrats are elected, that's exactly what we do. Even before Donald Trump started his greedy trade war, times were tough. And we fought to make things better for you and your family. Paid sick days and laws to protect you at work, that was us. Dental care, so you don't have to choose between living in pain and buying groceries, that was us. Pharmacare, so you can afford the medicine your doctor prescribes, that was us. Because we believe that the promise of Canada belongs to all of us. Let me tell you a story of Brianna. Brianna is a mom that I met in Edmonton. I met her in a park with her beautiful family. She's got 5 kids, single mom, and so she is struggling. So this is all she could do is to keep the roof over her head, to support her kids, and put food on the table. And so as a mom, she had to make some sacrifices. She had to make some tough choices. And one of the things that she had to do, given how expensive things are, is she could not afford to take her kids to the dentist. And she felt a lot of mom guilt. It's a feeling that a lot of parents understand, that feeling that you're not doing everything you can to take care of your kids. And so she felt that guilt until we fought for and delivered dental care for kids. That dental care meant the difference for her family. The first time that they saw a dentist was because of that plan we fought for. And she told me that her eldest actually turned out to have a rare condition that they caught early, and now he's going to have an awesome life. Her other kids were able to get dental care for the first time in their lives, and they're happier and healthier. And I can attest to that because I saw them in that park smiling and playing. I can remember that look of joy on their faces and that feeling that Brianna had, knowing that she had been able to take care of her kids. Brianna is who we fight for. and we will keep fighting for her and every Canadian. But today, that promise of a great future is slipping further and further away. I hear it everywhere I go. A mother sitting at her kitchen table, bills spread out in front of her, wondering if she can pay the rent or still afford groceries. A young couple scrolling through listings, realizing that owning a home is slipping further out of reach. A senior without a family doctor, waiting for the healthcare they need. And now, because of Donald Trump's illegal trade war, things are getting even more expensive. Thousands of Canadians are losing their jobs. The people who built this country are paying the greatest price, and that's not fair. They deserve a government that has their backs. You deserve a government that has your back, and we will fight like hell to make sure that happens. You deserve a prime minister you can trust to make decisions in your best interest, not to advance his personal wealth. And we know that someone who's going to be fighting in your best interest, that's not Mark Carney. He has spent his whole career serving the interests of billionaires, of shareholders, and CEOs. He makes decisions that benefit people like him. He's not our guy. Because anyone who profits off the crisis should not be in charge of fixing it. Right now, the people who built this country, the folks without multi-million-dollar portfolios, without blind trusts or hedge funds, the people who earn their living by showing up to work, who dream of owning a home, raising a family, and retiring with a modest pension, they're being abandoned. Mark Carney spent his career making sure the system worked for the most wealthy, not for you. While families struggled to pay rent, he was helping banks and investors profit off the housing crisis. When people needed relief, he made sure corporations driving up prices kept raking in profits. He cashed in while Canadians were struggling. Now he wants you to believe he'll fix the very things that made him and his friends richer. He won't fight for everyday people because that's not who he is. And that won't change now. And Pierre Poilievre, his only solution is tax breaks for the wealthy, and that will cost you. He pretends he's on your side, but in the back rooms, he's cutting deals with the very billionaires, jacking up your rent and groceries. He posed in front of workers who had just lost their jobs, and he said nothing about fixing EI to help them pay the bills. Pierre Poilievre talks about freedom, but he's only offering freedom for the ultra-rich. Freedom for corporations to jack up your rent. Freedom for billionaires to avoid paying taxes. Freedom for big corporations to buy up our healthcare. Where he has promised to make deep cuts, making wait times even longer, pushing more people into private for-profit clinics. He wants to gut environmental protections, handing more control to big polluters who put profits ahead of clean air and water. He would strip away supports that help Canadians make ends meet, forcing families to fend for themselves while billionaires get even richer. When times get tougher, he won't step in. He'll step aside. That's not leadership. That's not a plan that will build a Canada we can be proud of. Let me be perfectly clear. We will never be Trump's 51st state, not in name, not in values, not ever. Elbows up, everybody. And I won't let anyone in this election tell Canadians that the only way to beat Donald Trump is to become more like his version of the United States, where billionaires rule and everyday people pay. Now, I get it. Right now, it can feel like a storm is closing in on us. People are looking for shelter, for protection, for someone to keep them and their families safe. People who are afraid a Pierre Poilievre government might make them think they have no choice but Carney. But this is like being told you have to pick between a leaky house, a house with a leaky roof, or a cracked foundation. One patched together with empty conservative slogans, the other rotting from the inside after years of liberals protecting the most wealthy. Now, those houses are not the same, but neither will hold up when the storm hits, because neither was built for you. People will tell you in this election that it's about who can negotiate with Donald Trump. I'm here to tell you the real question is, who will make sure you and the things that you care about are not on the table? When Donald Trump comes demanding concessions, who will say no to trading away Canadian jobs or the things we grow and build and ship? Who will stop them from bargaining with environmental protections just to protect corporate profits? Who will fight back when Mark Carney says we have to cut healthcare or pensions to keep investors happy? Who will stand up when Pierre says you have to accept an American-style healthcare system where you pay more? Also, he can give tax breaks to billionaires. Only New Democrats can be trusted to look out for you. Donald Trump is showing us in real time what happens when billionaires and the people who work for them are in charge. Everything gets more expensive. Rights get stripped away, and regular people are left to clean up the mess, while the wealthy walk away richer. We don't need that here in Canada. We don't need that at all. We all know that we're in for a rough road ahead. Things are already tough. And at the end of the day, only New Democrats will fight to make sure you don't pay the price when things get harder. I'm running in this election to fight for you, not the billionaires. New Democrats have a strong and proud record of getting things done. When prices skyrocketed, we fought for relief. When people were laid off, we fought for jobs and better support. When corporate greed ran wild, we went after the billionaires like Galen Weston, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos. Because when families are struggling, when your job and livelihood is on the line, when prices are soaring, New Democrats choose you every time. The wealthy and powerful will never hand us change. They have too much to lose. Each victory for Canadians, for families, and for working and middle-class people, from pensions to public health care, was won because people like you fought for it. Billionaires don't stay rich by playing fair. They don't wake up one morning and decide to stop gouging you at the grocery store. They don't just decide to lower your rent or to raise your wages. That only happens when we demand it, when we fight for it, and when we win. Do not let the rich and powerful tell you that you deserve less. Do not let them convince you that in a time of crisis, you must sacrifice while they profit. Because when the storm hits, they won't feel it. They'll have golden parachutes, private clinics, and tax shelters. But for working and middle-class families, the only way life gets better is by standing together and electing leaders who will fight for you, not for the billionaires. That's what this election is about. That's what's at stake. We see what's happening in the US. Greed is tearing it apart. And those same forces are banging at our door. We can and we must fight back. We're not here to patch up a broken system for the next storm.
I'm Christian, a technician with Speedy Glass. People often wait to fix their chip, but then their windshield can crack. At Speedy Glass, we make it easy for you. We fix it in less than an hour, and it's free if you're insured. We even submit the claim for you. Just book an appointment at speedyglass.ca.
We're not here to patch up a broken system for the next storm. We are here to rebuild it stronger, safer, and fairer for everyone. I believe that's worth fighting for. You are worth fighting for, and I'm in it for you. Thank you so much. Merci. Merci. Thank you. Thank you. Partout où je vais, les gens sont fatigués.
Everywhere where I go, people are tired and worried. They're losing hope that things will actually get better. They're worried about the impacts of Donald Trump and the fact that the ultra-rich have completely taken control of the United States. We do not want that to happen here. People do everything they need to do, but they can't pay their rent or fill their fridge. And in the meantime, large companies are making record profits. I got into politics because I was fed up with seeing people struggle, while rich CEOs are getting richer and richer. I'm here in front of you because I believe in Jacques' dream, because I want to improve people's lives. Jacques did not want us to be just the conscience of Parliament. He wanted us to form a government. He wanted us to bring together progressives from around the country so that in Ottawa we would be working finally for people and not for CEOs. And that is my dream, too. I don't want to be Prime Minister for Elon Musk or Galen Weston. I don't want to be Prime Minister for Brookfield and the big banks. I want to be Prime Minister for the workers of this country. In these tough times, that is what people need. Cynics will say that it isn't possible. And that's what I've been told all my life. That's what they said about the healthcare system. And Tommy Douglas and the NDP did it. That's what they said about dental care. And yet we did it. That's what they said about pharmacare. And again, we did it. That's what they said about the anti-scab law. And we did it. CEOs and millionaires had their governments. Now it's your turn. Governments in Ottawa are not working for you. And Mark Carney will not change that. He spent his entire career making rich CEOs even richer on the back of people. He was president of Brookfield when the company engaged in renovictions. He lied about the environmental record of his company to make more money. He will continue to enrich already rich CEOs while people are struggling. Nobody's perfect, but it's a question of priorities, and Mark Carney has shown his priorities. His first promise was to cut taxes for millionaires, which means he'll cut jobs and services for the middle class. It's not surprising that he doesn't want to be transparent about his assets. He doesn't want you to know for whom he is working. Pierre Poilievre will cut services to the middle class to give more to billionaires. Cuts in healthcare at a time when the system is collapsing. Cuts in housing when, in fact, we need to build more housing. Cuts to employment insurance at a time when workers need protection. Cutting dental care when everything costs more. People will pay the price, and CEOs will pay less. And the Bloc will not protect Quebecers. In recent years, they have been completely useless. And I don't understand. Blanchet is always saying he will do what is good for Quebec. But he does precisely the opposite. He voted to cut dental care. He voted to block the funding of contraceptives and free medications for people who are diabetics. 2 measures that are helping millions of Quebecers. And now he says he's ready to support Poilievre, a conservative government that will cut everything that Quebecers hold dear. How can that be good for Quebecers? So people will have a choice to make in this election. In these tough times, do you want members of parliament who will be there to protect and help rich CEOs, or new Democratic members of parliament who will protect people and lower your bills? In the face of Donald Trump's threats, you need someone who will prioritize everyday Canadians, not someone who will give even more power to the elites. A new Democrat government will fight for a society where people work together to face challenges. We want a society where everyone can have a home, fill their fridge, and have time and money to take advantage of it. A free healthcare system that is there when you need it. We will protect our jobs, the French language, the Quebec culture, and our water, and everything that we hold dear against the attacks from Donald Trump and those who want to make Canada a country like the United States. In these last few years, the NDP has shown you that we are in it for you and that we are delivering for you and not for CEOs. And it's not over yet. Progress and change do not happen by themselves. We have to fight to arrive at change. The rich and elites will never allow us to change things. They have too much to lose. All the victories of workers in Canada have happened because people fought to get there. Together, we can stop accepting less. Together, let's build the country of our dreams. Thank you.
Merci, merci, merci. 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 Thank you. Thanks so much. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. On va passer maintenant à la période de questions. We'll now take the media questions. We'll go with one question, one follow-up. Please tell me your name and your media.
Hi, I'm Christy Kirkup with the Globe and Mail. Mr. Singh, with all due respect, you are the most experienced federal leader, but you're going into this campaign considered the underdog. How is that possible?
Well, I'm very familiar and comfortable being an underdog. I think a lot of Canadians can relate to that. But what I'm looking at right now is I'm seeing a country where there's a lot of workers who are worried about losing their jobs. I hear people worried about the cost of living getting more expensive. And I know that folks like Pierre, Poilievre and Mark Carney would want nothing better than for the New Democrats to disappear. For us not to point out the fact that Mark Carney's first steps was to bring in a tax cut for millionaires at a time when he's promising also his plan is to cut services for people. And that Pierre Poilievre shows up to a factory where workers had just lost their job. And he proposes a tax cut for big business and nothing for those workers who lost their job. I'm sure they would want nothing other than for us to disappear and not point out those things. But news to them. We're not going anywhere. We're here, and we're going to fight for people every single day.
And just as a follow-up, if I may just drill down on you. Again, it's your third campaign, so why are you deserving of a job promotion going into an election campaign with such weakened support?
Well, we've shown Canadians who were feeling really like a lot of struggle and worries that we can deliver for them. When people were saying that we can't afford to take care of our teeth, we delivered dental care. For folks that were telling us that they couldn't afford their medication, we delivered pharmacare. We've delivered for Canadians. And I want folks to know in this time when there are serious threats to our country, we know that the other guys aren't in it for you. They've showed you their priorities. Mark Carney spent his career making rich people richer, and he's done it profiting off of the crisis, like the housing crisis. Pierre Poilievre, like Conservatives always do, wants tax cuts for his billionaire buddies and cut services for you and your family. If you want someone that's going to fight for you, that's always going to put you and your family first, not the billionaires, not the CEOs, but you. That's us. That's New Democrats. And that's what we're going to show you every single day of this campaign.
Thank you very much. Next media.
Hi, Mr. Singh, Taria Isri, Global News. During your speech, you described Carney as an elitist and Poilievre as someone who cuts deals with billionaires, but poll after poll shows that their messages are resonating more than yours. So why do you think that is?
Well, this is an important election, and in this election, we're going to show Canadians the choices that they have. Mark Carney is already showing you now his priorities. What are some of the first things that he did once becoming Prime Minister? He did a flip-flop on capital gains, which is a tax cut that benefits mostly people who earn more than $1.4 million a year. He is prioritizing the people that he's always worked for, his whole career. Not surprising. He has made rich people richer, and he's done it on the backs of working class folks. He's done it on the backs of the middle class folks. And so I want folks to know that. They need to know who he's in it for. And Pierre Poilievre, his plan is also one that's going to give tax breaks to billionaires and cut services for you. He's already said he's going to cut, his plan is to cut dental care. He wants to cut pensions. He's already put that plan forward. He wants to cut the things that you and your family need to give more to his billionaire buddies. We are different. We are proposing a plan. Our plan is to lower your bills, to take on the corporate grocery giants that jack up your prices, put in place a price cap on those food essentials, to ban corporations from buying up affordable homes. We are going to fight for you. Every day of this campaign, we're going to show you the choices that you have, and we're going to make it clear that New Democrats have your back and that we're in it for you.
You also seem to tie both Carney and Poilievre to Trump in their own ways, if I'm reading that correctly. Do you think both of those leaders are Trump-like in their own way, and is that part of your strategy in this campaign, to tie them to the U.S. president?
Well, let's be clear. Donald Trump has come out and endorsed Mark Carney. Elon Musk has endorsed Pierre Poilievre. I'm the only federal candidate that is 100% not endorsed by the Donald Trump administration.
Merci beaucoup. Prochain média, Radio-Canada.
En français, juste sur ça.
Oui.
Yes, in French on that. Yes.
Non, ça va aller juste en français, on va le prendre, merci.
Elon Musk has endorsed Pierre Poilievre. Donald Trump has endorsed Mark Carney. I'm the only candidate 100% not endorsed by anyone in the Donald Trump administration. Et en français, parce que j'ai hâte de répéter ça.
And in French, because I want to repeat this, it's important for people to know this.
Mark Carney a été appuyé
Mark
par
Carney
Donald Trump.
has been
Elon Musk a appuyé
endorsed
Pierre Poilievre.
by Donald
Donc,
Trump.
je suis le seul candidat
Elon Musk supports Pierre Poilievre, so I'm really the only candidate that has not been endorsed by the Donald Trump administration.
Première question.
Bonjour, Juliane Lapointe de Radio-Canada.
Radio-Canada.
Vous avez parlé dans votre discours du rêve.
In your speech, you talked about Jack Layton's dream, but right now, the only seat you have in Quebec is not even guaranteed in the next election. So what can you offer to Quebecers that is new to reverse that trend? Well, for both Quebecers and Canadians, we have a record. We have shown what we can do. We delivered for Quebecers. We're talking about dental care, for example. This is a program where more than 500,000 Quebecers received help. More than 1 million people in Quebec registered for that program. It's a program that the Liberals voted against a number of times. They resisted, and we forced the government to bring it in. The Conservatives voted against it. Even the Bloc Québécois voted against dental care. Even though this is a program that helps a lot of Quebecers, and a lot of them have registered for the program, but the Bloc voted against it. So the Bloc has shown that they are a completely useless party in Quebec. They have not delivered anything for people, and we have shown that we can deliver that support. We did that with pharmacare as well. We delivered for Quebecers. We have shown that with a clear record that we can not only talk about issues, but actually make concrete gains for people's lives. So in terms of something new, I guess we'll see in the campaign. Oh, yes, of course. We will be making proposals. Now, this is your third campaign, but looking at the numbers in the polls right now, this is a beginning where we're seeing something happening that only happened decades before. How can you convince Canadians that you are still the right person to lead the party and get your message across? Well, if you're afraid right now because of this trade war with Donald Trump's threats, if you're worried about your job, you think it may be at risk, if you're worried that the cost of living will go up, if you're afraid that the only solutions that you're going to hear from Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre help the ultra-rich and don't help you and your family, well, we are your option.